Hello you absolute legends, welcome back to the channel. I'm filming this voiceover after the fact because, well, I actually forgot to film an intro to this video. This is part 3 of the Audi TT, day 3. I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so in a previous video Dad noticed that this electrical cable here was split and here. I think it's been cut. What do you reckon?
No idea, mate. It might have been cut. It might have been just yanked. So look.
Well, it looks like it's burnt.
That's corrosion, isn't it?
I'm gonna say it's been cut. You're gonna repair it anyway, and I suppose we'll see what happens. It's a cable that goes to a pump that feeds water to the turbo to cool it down after close down. So it's clearly not been working. Dad's going to repair it. He's got his repair kit here. It's just going to be a case of soldering the wires back together or crimping them back together. Are you going to crimp it or solder it? Soldering and shrink tubing back together and seeing if that repairs anything. Miraculously, by the way, we've just had a delivery, get rid of that, it's got Dad's address on it, of this part. This is a piece for the PCV system here. Shocked that that's come. It's a Sunday today when I'm filming this. We ordered it Friday night, so the fact that they're out delivering on a Sunday, that's quite impressive in my opinion. Yeah, this is one job we're doing. That's another job then. Dad has repaired this cable, this wire from here to here, new wire, shrink tube, soldered it back together. Obviously can't really test it because we're still in a state of disrepair. But yeah, the general consensus is somehow it's got caught or cut. I don't think it's been cut on purpose. So yeah, another piece done. I've just tested the N75 valve. The way to test it, by the way, is to blow into the tube here, into the input, and if you've got air escaping into the turbo inlet through here, then it has failed. It hasn't failed, which is good news. So blow in here. You've got air escaping here, which is good news. It's meant to, but it's not meant to come out here. And it doesn't. So that is something that is not broken. And the under tray is hilariously oily, covered in dirt and grime and trash. So I'm just going to clean it off. Got some elbow grease, got a brush there and a cleaner. We'll just clean that off. It's just a jobbed. That didn't work very well, that idea. So I've had to break out the jet wash. That's doing the trick. That's getting it off. Cleanest Mk1 TT under tray in the UK now, that is. Job done. We've also found hanging off the suspension underneath the car this cross brace piece. It goes into the suspension. So we're going to fix it, but before we fix it I'm going to give it a clean as well. So that cross member piece we've just washed. Dad's discovered why there's an issue. Tell me more.
This bit should be fastened in the subframe, and it's not. It should be pressed in and it's come out, so I think I'm going to have to weld it in.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to drill a couple of holes in it and spot weld it in.
Excellent. And what do you think it does?
Not a lot, I shouldn't think.
Probably not a lot, but that's how it should be. So we're going to put that back in. So I'm under the car. This is where the one that is in place is. And this is where we've got to fix the other one. So all I'm going to do is use my trusty sandpaper and just clean this off a little bit, and then we can weld it in. So I've just been underneath the car cleaning the area where it is going to fit and where Dad's fixed it. Apart from all this oil on the bottom of the sump of the engine and all that sort of stuff, it's relatively clean underneath the car. I'm very shocked. In fact, it's very, very, very good. I'm not going to get wiggled right under here again. Let's have a look under here. Have a look at the cats and all that. That is filth under there. Look at that. Absolutely filthy. I'm going to have to clean all that off before we get going again. Just brush it off, geyser it off, clean it off. Not a major issue. But the oil under here is obviously from split pipes just being shoved everywhere. But look down there. Look under here. Let's get wiggled underneath here. Underneath the car is relatively clean. There's no rust or rot or anything under here. And the arms, look at the arms. I'm surprised at that. 140,000 miles. This is where I've just been cleaning. It's a bit of Jekyll and Hyde, this car. It really is. It's been cosmetically looked after and everything past the engine bay is lovely. Mechanically, it's a pig. Mechanically, it's terrible. Makes me wonder what the previous owners were thinking. Have I missed something desperately worrying?
Make money work for you. Circumstances or registry agencies apply. Unpredictable at times. Allowing you to fit study around your life.
Okay, so Dad's done the welding. I'm not qualified with a welder, or trusted probably. I'm going to go under here now and paint the piece just to stop it from corroding. Let's get underneath the car. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Whoops. And that is what Dad has done. Fixed that piece, ground it off, and all I'm going to do is just spray it now with some black anti-chip. Thankfully, I've not had to be precious about overspray. But that's just painted that up. I'm going to give it another coat in a second. It's still warm, so the anti-chip's going to dry nice and quickly. And I'm under the car doing some actual spannering myself. I'm impressed. That end's in. This is the bar. This end is in. So we'll just tighten it up. Copper slipped all the nuts. The bolts. And just ratcheting it up now. While we're at this stage of dismantling, Dad's going to check out the aircon system. The aircon does kick in. It gets relatively cold, but it's not nice and cool as you think you'd expect. Now, I've got no service history for the aircon unit, so Dad is just checking out the aircon system just to see if he can find any major faults. If not, it might be a case of when we're back on the road nipping down to our local ATS, paying them 30 odd quid with a Groupon code. That's a little trick. And getting them to service the air conditioning and just to see if it will actually work. I'm expecting it to be serviceable, but obviously if it's got a great big leak in it, then there's no point in wasting me 30 odd quid. Well, the good news is Dad's not found any major issues with the aircon, nothing hanging off, everything looks good. So unless there is a fault somewhere deep inside, aircon should be fine. The only way to tell is, as I say, take it to our local garage and have it leak tested, and then if it's only good, take some in and put some out. As I say, for the sake of 35 quid with the Groupon code, it's worth doing. Next job! We are going to drain the coolant system.
We haven't got an antifreeze.
Here we have.
Have we got enough?
Yeah, we've got some antifreeze. We're going to drain the coolant system. We are going to take the the coolant bottle out. Can you see it's all horrible? I'm going to clean it all out. We are going to then refill the coolant system. It's empty because we've got some pipes off, but have a look in here. Can you see in there? I'm trying to light that up so we can see. It's absolutely full of what can I describe as sludge. Nonsense, rubbish. That is going to be So much better when that's all cleaned out. Coolant is draining. Dad's surprised because actually under here somewhere is a drain tap. So we're draining out the last of the coolant that's actually left in the car. Just trying to get this off and this off, and we'll get that out. Well, that's the coolant tank out, and you can see how filthy it is. I'll hold that up to the non-existent sun. There it is. Right, we're going to have to get that cleaned. I've crept into the kitchen to clean the coolant tank, and Mum is here. So I'm just going to sneak over here. Goodbye, sludge. Goodbye, stuff that was in the coolant tank that shouldn't be. Soup. Well, it's never going to be as clean as it was the day it left the factory, but it is now running clear. I've had a good old clean in there. It could be worse, couldn't it? That is the coolant tank refitted. It's looking much better than it was. It's still not perfect, but it's certainly much better. And we're going to give the coolant system now a clean out. We're going to drain it. I say we're going to drain it. We're going to fill it, flush it, then drain it again. Here is the old coolant.
Get the old hydrometer and check this gravity.
Oh, good idea. Where is the hydrometer? It's in this box, is it? Draw. Aha! Hydrometer.
Let's see what's...
Not a lot.
Oh, there is.
Is there? Just explain to people what you've got there.
It's a thing that measures the amount of specific gravity of the more balls of things are floating is the number of two floating.
So basically it measures the amount of antifreeze.
Yeah. Protection to -15.
There you go, -15. Well, hopefully we're not getting any further past that. But that is bleh,
It is, isn't it?
horrible.
It's filled my tool up with sludge.
Do you think that's an issue?
No.
It's just where someone's mixed a load of antifreeze, right?
It's been neglected. It's been neglected, mate. And the old sludge has been put in it, hasn't it?
We're in putting stuff back together mode now. It's time to put the headlights back in and the bumper back on.
See if I'm in the hole.
Well, I can't see anything. Give me your light.
It goes in an hole.
Peg in hole. Oh yeah, I can see it. Let me put my phone down. Look at those flaps that had purple overspray on them. They're now nice and clean. I've cleaned this off, just blasted it off. It was all oily. There's still some cleaning to do on that pipe, but and then this was all oily and dirty. I've cleaned this off. Everything's getting a good old clean. So while I've got the bumper off, Dad's got the lights back in. These are the OEM lights. You can see where they have been fitted at factory. They've got all the marks on, which are handy. We are going to just give them a bit of a clean. I'm not going to use any sort of expensive headlight restorer kit. You can see that I've had a good little go with this one. This one's a bit, I don't know, hazy. Literally, this is all you need. People are going to shout at me, but I think this stuff's wonderful. Original T-cut on there. It doesn't need sealing. We're not going to go crazed. We've also got, what's he got over here?
Steve uses them first.
What's that? Steve? Who's Steve?
Bodyman at Johnson's.
Oh, right, okay. What's this then?
It's an abrasive pad.
Oh,
really, really bad.
Let's give it a go.
No, he doesn't want the D8.
Oh, we're not going to do that. We're going to put this, which is a lamb's wool bonnet, on a drill, just to give it a little bit of a clean while the bumper's off. It's not going to look fantastic. It's not going to be perfect, but it is going to make the eyes much better. I have moistened, not wet, moistened this pad. It's not perfect, but for a 10-minute job, it's not overly too bad. Again, I've not used a proper kit. I've just used the lambswool bonnet and some T-cut. It's a never-ending issue. It will be a never-ending story. You'll be doing it for the end of your life now. And the only other thing to do is replace these. But for 20 odd years old, they're not too bad. Bumper's back on. It's just hung on, it's not put back into place. I'm going to clean all this now. There's a piece of trim that sits along here. But the lights are in, bumper's on, and for some reason I didn't notice when I bought the car, it's been stuck in there. There is a purple cable tie. No idea what that's about, but it's there. So that's day 2 of having a full old go at the TT. We've been doing this since, I don't know, 11 o'clock this morning. It's now, what time is it, 6 o'clock? I can't see the clock. So we've had a good old go at it anyway. Things we've done today have been covered in the video. Coolant bottles all been cleaned. Everything's been cleaned and sorted, and there's been some welding going on and some headlight restoring and all sorts of stuff. The bumper is now back on the car, which is good news. We've had some parts arrive, ready to repair that. What are we waiting for? Waiting for a few more parts. Got to get some coolant. It takes a special, it says G12, but that's been superseded now, so it takes G13 coolant. We're getting there. We're slowly getting there. We're in a much better place than we were this morning, and I'm feeling a lot more confident and uplifted than I was at 7 o'clock this morning. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, thumbs up please. If you haven't enjoyed the video, well then don't yeah, if you haven't enjoyed the video, that's Dad's fault. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. There will be more TT updates coming. Whatever you're getting up to, have a great day. Take care and goodbye.